Welcome to the Dumb Dominos podcast. As always, I'm Chase.
Josh.
Zach.
And today is going to be weekly news number 4. We're going to talk about PlayStation VR 2 coming out in early 2022. Sony being sued for $5 billion.
I don't know if that's in pounds or whatever, though. So we'll have to come back
Pounds.
to that. Yeah.
A pound coin.
It could be pound.
Trish Stratus returns to Monday Night Raw. Raw shows are going to be 2 hours.
That's
They're 3 right now.
They're wanting to do 2 hours, I think, is what's going on. So
Fallout TV show confirmed.
They've already got screenshots of the set and everything.
Embracer Group buys rights to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Enola Holmes 2 has a release date for November 4th on Netflix, starring Henry Cavill and Millie Bobby Brown. Guillermo del Toro has a scary movie coming out on Netflix October 25th.
All right.
For the first time in history last week, streaming numbers surpassed cable television audience.
Wow, that's a big deal.
And The Last of Us with Pedro Pascal and Nick Offerman dropped a trailer.
I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't either.
So what do you guys want to get into first? You want to just follow the list, or
follow the
you
list?
want to do the Embracer Group buys the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit?
I say let's just follow the list.
Start with the list, I guess.
Okay. So Josh, you want to tell me about the VR2 coming out early 2022?
Yeah, I'm really
23.
excited for it. I don't know too much about it, but I just wanted to get everyone's thoughts on a PSVR headset number 2. Like, it's going to be an upgraded version of the one we had, so what do y'all think?
I hope that it's actually used.
Yeah.
And it's made to be more mainstream.
Right now, the problem with VR is it's still in the gimmick stage. It has not left. It's a novelty. There are very few AAA games.
There's only 2.
As far as I know, Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7 and Half-Life Alyx.
And, no, Half-Life Alyx is not on... Oh, yeah, that's on a different VR headset.
It's a VR.
Now, also Resident Evil 4 VR was also a good one.
Okay.
And I think there's one other one, Resident Evil 8, is also going to be in VR now.
It's going to be... It's coming to VR.
So there are a few games that are in VR. But it's still in its gimmicky stage. So. How do you feel about VR, Che?
Man, it hasn't got to the stage to me where it feels it's surpassed consoles.
Yeah, the problem is there's no competitive scene in there, and games need a little bit of a competitive scene. I mean, it doesn't have to rely on it, but it at least needs a AAA scene, which is not common in VR.
VR is basically just indie, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just indie. And there's like no real content for it. Everything is kind of short.
There's 2 other ones. There's Fallout 4 VR and Skyrim VR. But those aren't that...
Doom and Super Hot.
Those aren't big. Those are older.
When it gets like the Oasis, I'll be ready.
Oh, when the Oasis happens, I'm going to be all in.
But I just feel like it's a cheap imitation right now, and I'd much rather have a console.
You know when the first VR... I think the first... I mean, I don't know if it's the first ever VR headset, but the first console version of a VR headset was actually for the Game Boy or something.
Oh, really?
I thought it was the Virtual Boy.
The Virtual Boy, that's what it was called.
Yeah.
It was back in the 80s or 90s, a VR headset for the Nintendo.
And we're still not far enough along.
And
the graphics are about the same.
I feel like they're just like...
No, they're...
I feel like they've kind of led us on, like they thought they'd be at the level now, but they haven't made it there yet.
Yeah, I mean, and Xbox hasn't even attempted VR yet, so I don't know what they're doing.
So, why is Sony being sued?
I don't know. It had something to do with the PlayStation Store. I mean, I don't know the specifics, but it had something to do with in another country. I don't know what type of currency.
You don't know?
It's probably Australia.
I couldn't tell what the currency was.
Because Australia has
because they were overcharging for games in that region.
You sure it was them, or it was just some manufacturer?
Well, if it's on the PlayStation Store, then
it's on the PlayStation Store.
You sure it wasn't just a mistake?
Well, that mistake is worth $5 billion.
Yeah, it's been happening for 6 years, according to them.
I got a feeling that Sony has got good lawyers.
I don't know, man. I have
I'd say
no idea.
so.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Do you think Raw's shows are going to go back to 2 hours because that's what they were when we grew up?
It really needs to.
I think.
Well, I know that.
I think Triple H said, since now
The
he's
game.
running a lot of stuff, Triple H said that he wants it to return to 2-hour program.
Yeah,
It
well, you
has
know it
to,
went to
man.
3 hours so they could get more advertising dollars.
I don't think SmackDown's going to
You know
change.
that, right?
What is SmackDown now? SmackDown's still 2 hours.
Man,
right?
I haven't
SmackDown's
seen.
never changed.
I've
Okay.
only seen SmackDown live one time in the past. That's all I've seen it.
What, 10 years?
Yeah, I haven't even seen it on TV.
I used to watch it back when Batista was
Well,
champion.
yeah. Man, I just
Good
don't
old
know with wrestling. Like, is it being 2 hours really gonna do anything for you?
And to help cut down on
2 hours of crappy
boring
content instead
storyline.
of 3 of crappy content.
Yeah, at least you won't have to sit through 3 hours of crappy content.
No kidding.
Now just 2.
Yeah, so were you excited when you saw that Trish Stratus walked down that aisle?
Yeah, I don't know if she. I'm guessing she's gonna have a match with Bailey or
Well,
someone.
you know what's hilarious with us? Anytime an old legend from when we used to watch it comes down, we get excited. They could be
Yeah.
100 years old in a wheelchair. We're like, they're gonna wrestle this match.
Funny enough, Trish still looks really good.
Oh yeah, man, she's aged like a crab.
What?
I don't know if that's
It's kinda weird.
Yeah, that's a weird compliment.
They're basically immortal. She's aged like
Would you say a jellyfish?
She's aged like a mahogany piano.
Okay.
She's aged like
Like an oak tree.
an oak tree. She's aged
It
like
takes forever.
Oh, she looks great. How about that? She doesn't look any worse than when she left.
Actually,
I mean,
she
she look-
somewhat looks better.
Yeah, she looks thin. She looks like she's in great shape.
She looks like she's glowing. Is that weird to say?
Well, you know, she was
Well,
kissed
it
by
could have
the
been
gods.
the picture quality from back on the old cameras.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what. Since her start, I mean, she started with that group, not the company TNA, but the group TNA with Test and Prince Albert, and that was over 20 years ago. So for her to look like that is pretty incredible.
Well, that was in what, like the late 90s?
2000.
And I think
yeah.
she almost looks better.
So
That's
that,
true.
I mean, that's pretty incredible. You think of it not being that long ago. I'm gonna tell you, man, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So, and that's
She was wrestling before I was born.
yeah, I know. So for her to look like that, I mean, props. So you gotta tell me about the Fallout TV show.
Well, yeah.
Who's
So how
gonna-
do you feel
Who's gonna lead?
about? I don't think a lot of the actors are known, so
Oh,
I'm not
boy.
sure.
Oh boy.
But how do you feel about a show set in the apocalyptic Fallout universe?
Is it gonna have one of those crabs that follow you everywhere?
One, is the CG gonna be good? Because you know they can't do everything practical.
It's gonna be the first season, so I'm assuming it's
You want
gonna
me to
be
tell you the
somewhere
truth?
rough.
And
You want me to
two,
tell you the truth? It's gonna be terrible.
Here's the cast.
Give me that.
is that Denzel?
I don't know who that. Actually, I do know him. He ain't bad. Walton Goggins is good. He's good.
Kyle MacLachlan?
Yeah, you know, or Kyle
Is
McLaughlin.
it still for the right thing though? Make sure I got on the right thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got it. McLaughlin's the star of Twin Peaks
Really?
in the 90s.
So what do you think?
I think it's going to be terrible. When have they ever adapted a video game good? You crapped on The Witcher's last season.
That was of a book technically, but a little bit of both.
Book game of the year.
And the Resident Evil movies weren't bad until the
Last
final
one.
chapter.
I think a lot of people would disagree with you on that.
I
Man,
mean,
the,
I think
the
they're
public
fun.
opinion is so.
I still enjoy the
No,
Resident
I
Evil
enjoy them,
movies.
but hey, the public opinion on that is all over.
Well, the
place.
public opinion's not always
Oh,
right.
come on!
I mean, they're fun movies. Here's the thing.
you don't trust people's
I had more.
opinion.
I liked them more than I liked
You
Fast.
didn't.
You like them more than Fast?
Yeah, I
3?
think- Yeah, anything past Fast and Too Fast, Too Furious.
Look, the last good
It's
Fast and the
awful.
Furious movie was 5.
I think it was Tokyo Drift.
Hey man, what if they
And
did,
that one wasn't too good.
The last good one was 5. The last real one was 3.
Hey, what if they did a crossover movie with Tokyo Drift and Tokyo Zombie, and then they just got big vehicles and drifted into the zombies to kill
That'd
them?
be brilliant.
That'd be pretty neat.
Throw Jackie Chan in there.
But
I know
anyway,
he's Chinese, but
how do y'all feel
just
about
throw him in
Fallout
there 'cause I
TV
love
show?
Jackie Chan.
Like, do you think it does have potential though? At least.
I don't really know the universe that well. Like, you're supposed to tell me.
Well, just think of it like this: it's set usually after the Great War, and the Great War was about the
Yeah. I love post-apocalyptic, so I'll check it out.
It was about the world fighting over the last of the fuel.
Hey, what's it?
on Earth.
What service is it going to be on?
I have no
Oh
idea.
goodness, that'll tell you a lot.
well, here's the
Sir,
thing I think
if
we
it
can
says
say.
Netflix, you can write that off.
I think this is one thing we can
How would
say.
you look that up?
I just Fallout TV show streaming.
Amazon's Fallout TV series.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So Amazon's going with Fallout and The Last of Us. Gee whiz.
A Fallout TV show based on the popular
And Lord of the
post-apocalyptic
Rings.
You wanna know
game
what that is?
franchise is developed by at Amazon from the creators of Westworld.
Oh, really?
Amazon won bidding war to license the game rights, and
Well,
as
they'll win a
listed
bidding war.
adaptation from Jonathan
Yeah, I got it.
Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy.
What are you gonna say?
I don't remember.
Oh goodness.
So what do you think now? Like after all hearing all that?
Oh,
In
hearing
the
that
middle.
gives me like just enough to check it out.
Yeah.
It just got me to the precipice of trying it.
Yeah.
But if I get 2 bad episodes, I'm out.
I remember what I was going to say. I mean, it's cool to have a Fallout TV show, but I think it's way too early. No, in the sense of, like, we're not going to see anything on this for a while. So, there's no reason to really get hyped
Well,
for
they're
it.
filming right now, so I don't know.
It's
I'm guessing
2
it's
years.
gonna come out in a year and a half from now to 2 years.
I'm betting 25.
It might come out when they announce Fallout 3 remake or something.
They're not. It's going to be 25.
People have been speculating about a Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 remake for quite some time. Like, you
Yeah.
know how they have the
Same way
definitive
people have been
edition?
speculating on Silent Hill.
You know how people have been talking about how Skyrim's gotten that thing? Man, Silent Hill, I don't know what's going on with that. Like,
Well, are you ready to go to the biggest news?
yep.
Embracer Group buys the rights to the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit.
All of it.
You're going to have to remind me real quick what the Embracer Group is.
Okay, I will remind you. In video games,
They own GTA.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, gosh.
and they do Saints Row, Borderlands, Killing Floor, Tomb Raider,
Is this just
Little Nightmares.
Is this just
They
like
bought Tomb Raider, yeah.
Is it
I
just to
remember.
video games or is this
No. That's for films. So you know what they have in films? They have the Umbrella Academy, Sin City. That stuff you're familiar with.
Wait, what does that mean for who makes the Shadow of War games, Zachary?
Warner Brothers?
Warner Brother? What's going to happen to those games?
I don't know.
They're gonna be written off.
So basically, what I've heard is Embracer Group bought the rights to the Lord of the Rings
Not sure.
and the Hobbit, and they're fully planning to make games and origin stories and sequels and prequels to the Lord of the Rings,
Well,
like
we don't
the
get
ones
enough
that you
games.
know.
Well, is
We
it
don't
gonna be
get enough games, Lord of the Rings games anymore.
Yeah,
we
but
used to.
you're gonna get like Aragorn origins. You're gonna get like
we're gonna get
Gandalf,
and
the
Aragorn.
Adventures of Gandalf.
Yeah,
I'm
we're gonna
just
get all these
worried
TV
that
shows.
They don't know.
It's gonna
They
be
don't.
I'm worried they'll pull a Disney.
It's gonna be a Kenobi.
I want to know how
Know
much
that,
they
yeah.
paid for that, knowing how much Amazon paid for theirs without even the known people, the known characters.
So the Tolkien estate does not own it anymore.
They sold it. They sold Lord of
That's
the Rings and the Hobbit to Embracer Group, and I don't know how much
That's
they sold it
The
for.
entire thing?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Think if you're Amazon, you paid $1 billion, and then some other company got.
Tolkien's
The
probably rolling in his grave right now.
You know they're gonna make like Lord of the Rings ice cream bars and crap like that. But imagine being Amazon and you bought the Rings of Power, right? You paid $1 billion for all that, and then a different company got Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. The name, not the side thing, the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Frodo. They got him.
Do you think that's why the show is going to be? We've heard the show is going to be crap. Is because Amazon didn't give a dang about it because they found out that it was being sold to Embracer Group.
I don't know. I just know that.
Look, I don't
trust Amazon.
I don't trust Embracer Group either.
Is Embracer Group? Are they tied in with like HBO or anything? Netflix?
I don't know, man. I think they definitely are gonna be.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna be. HBO and Discovery just did their big merger, so the time that comes out, there won't be an HBO Max. It'll be some other app.
I will say that I agree with Josh in the sense that it is scary because Embracer Group is like
a dump.
Nearly ruined
here's the thing.
Grand Theft Auto.
Lord of the Rings as a whole has been up in the air ever since The Hobbit came out.
But nothing's ever going to be as special as that original trilogy, and Amazons and Embracers are just going to be
cheap knockoffs.
Cheap knockoffs that are trying to make a buck on the show and products.
The only thing that good might come out of this is games.
Yeah,
the games.
The thing that might good.
The only thing good that could come out of this is the games. I don't think the movies or shows are going to be that good. But
nothing's going to be good.
I'll give them a try.
Maybe they'll do a Lord of the Rings Conquest.
I just hope they don't start writing in the books.
Or Battlefield.
Imagine if they start writing books.
If they rewrite the books, I'll buy the Silmarillion in its original and call it.
J.R.R. Tolkien didn't want his works being commercialized.
Yeah.
And look what's
He's
happening.
rolling in his grave.
Yeah. Isn't his son still alive?
No, I think it's grandson.
Oh.
His grandson's probably the one that sold it.
Oh, yeah. You think he cares about legacy or anything?
I think his dad was really passionate about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, both Tolkien and his son wrote the Silmarillion, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, somewhat, like half and half, I think.
That's what I'm saying. They both like wrote it.
Okay. Well, per Henry Cavill's Instagram, Enola Holmes 2 official for November 4th.
I've never seen the first one, but I actually want to watch
Henry Cavill is Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
And he's not the main character, though.
It's Enola.
11 from Stranger Things is Enola Holmes' sister.
Huh.
This came out, the first one came
out? A good while ago. A couple
18,
years.
17, 19?
Yeah, what do you think of that, Josh?
That sounds interesting.
So you can watch 11 and Geralt
team up.
As
hopefully it'd be
Sherlock
better
Holmes.
than the Witcher show was.
Well, we've already got one movie, and me and I got a few opinions, but just personal opinions. But it wasn't bad, and you just throw it on Netflix and you watch a semi-subpar movie like all Netflix movies, and you move on.
So what, November 4th?
Yeah, I don't know
semi-subpar.
I don't remember the name of it, so that's bad. I should know the name of it, but I do know Guillermo del Toro. It has a scary movie coming out October 25th.
You know what it is?
Or? I'm not totally sure what it is, and I should know, but del Toro is responsible for The Strain, and because of that, I'll watch anything scary that he develops.
He
Didn't he do like The Shape of Water?
He had a hand in Silent Hill's playable teaser.
He is such a freaking genius when it comes to horror. So
him and Kojima did a really freaking good job on Silent Hill PT.
Just keep your eye out for it, and I just thought it was something to throw out there. So last week, for the first time in history, streaming viewership overtook cable TV viewership.
Well, that's what we've been telling. We've been telling wrestling that for years.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you should get out of the cable market and start doing streaming.
It was like one of those things that like you knew was going to happen, but it took longer to get there than I thought it would.
Yeah, I thought it would have happened like 2 or 3 years ago.
It's like seeing like a hover car, and then there's regular cars, and people are still buying regular. You're like, obviously, we're gonna move on to this. It's like seeing Blockbuster when Netflix came out. You don't even have to leave your house, and you pay $10 a month.
But tell me, you don't think this will translate to like cinema?
No, because in the pandemic, they tried to absolutely push away movie theaters and box office for streaming, and it did not work out. And Top Gun Maverick is at like $1.5 billion in the box office.
People like
getting
out of the house.
I think they've proved that the box office is still king over streaming.
Mm-hmm.
With Top Gun Maverick being the 6th highest grossing film of all time post-pandemic showed the box
it's not-
office is still king.
Okay.
And I don't think they've quite figured out how, on a big movie, right, to release it on streaming and find the money. They haven't figured out a way to make the profit by doing that. Now they can make a lot of profit through advertising and streaming services, paying hefty fees, but they ain't found $1 billion that they can make at the box office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I watched the Last of Us trailer. Pedro Pascal, Nick Offerman,
How'd it look?
and then the girl that played little Lyanna Mormont.
From Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I should know her name. It actually looked pretty good. It looked like a lot of explosions, a lot of...
What?
Yeah.
Nick
Nick
In The Last of Us?
Nick Offerman's the bad guy. Ron Swanson.
No, he
Yeah,
can't.
he's a bad man.
No, he's a great man.
I kind of like
man.
that.
You
That's
two are
funny.
too close to the game, and I think I'm the man to come along.
Explosions?
Look, man.
As long as it's not Michael.
Yeah, if it ain't Michael, if it goes Michael
We're gonna
Bay,
watch it,
I'm writing it
and
off.
I'm gonna listen to you two gripe about it because you're too close to the games, and I'm gonna be the guy that doesn't know a thing about the games, and I'm gonna tell you how good the TV show is.
This
I'm going
is
to tell you how bad
here's my-
It's the Mandalorian.
Here's my-
and Ron Swanson.
This is my
the second
opinion.
game
Hold
was
on.
awful.
This is my opinion.
You already hate the show because the second game's bad.
No, that gives me no. If the second game was
Hold on.
bad, then the movie has no chance.
This is my
or
opinion.
the show.
The story of The Last of Us
It's
is
terrible.
is so amazing
Oh.
and so like it's probably the best video game story I've ever listened to. Or played.
It's not the best, but it's definitely up there.
It's top. It's
Yeah.
top 10.
A
For
lot of people
sure.
would say Final Fantasy VII.
But this is what I'm saying. I think this show has to a T, follow that story. If you don't
because
follow
it
that
ain't gonna
story,
live up otherwise.
it will not do anywhere near as
If you,
good.
I mean, the only way it could be better than the original story is if they added more scenes in between the actual story parts.
Yeah.
You know.
I
which
mean, yeah. If
I
they
don't
added
think's gonna
more like
happen.
downtime in between, like the traveling and
But
stuff.
I don't think that's going to happen because the games you get a lot of downtime,
Well, the game is what, 12 to 16, 17 hours long.
something like that. How many
Yeah.
episodes is this going to be?
I don't know. We just got this trailer.
Oh, okay.
Well, that means they're getting kind of close.
Yeah. So, House of the Dragon premiered with 10 million views, which is double of the premiere of Stranger Things 4.
Which is
Which broke-
insane.
Legit broke Netflix.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing, Stranger Things has climbed up, and I got this feeling that House of the Dragon will have more viewers at the start than the finish, which is actually pretty normal for most TV shows. that
Oh,
are
so you're saying
established.
like Stranger Things started
starts
here
out with 10.
and went up,
Yeah,
and House of Dragon's gonna be here and go down.
possibly.
I think people are just wanting more of before season
8.
8
Yeah.
of Game of Thrones, so they're looking for that again.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people are turned away after the gore of that. Man, you thought Saw was bad. There was more gore in this than Saw 1 and 2 combined.
And it was only in what a combination of 5-minute scene.
There was more gore in this episode than the Saw franchise. I don't know about that, but definitely Saw 1 and 2.
We have a whole podcast on that. If you
Go
want to
check it out.
go check it out if you want to know
It
our
was
opinions on that.
disgusting.
Oh god.
Check it out on YouTube and Spotify. Well, that's all there is for weekly news.
That's all of it?
That's it. You want to read over the manuscript?
No, I mean, that's it.
Manuscript.
I'm just kidding.
That's all.
It's weekly news, man. If there's no news, then there's no news. If there's no news,
Hey, that's a lot of big news, just not a lot of headlines.
somebody bought the Lord of the Rings.
I know. I'm not saying there's big headlines, but there's not a lot of headlines.
Yeah. What do you think of Activision?
I hate them.
What about them? Like, what do you want to
I
talk
mean,
about them? I don't really want to.
Sometimes they make good games.
Well,
I like them more than I like Ubisoft. That tells you anything.
Modern Warfare 2 is just around the corner, and I am so freaking hyped.
I like Activision more than Ubisoft. If that tells
What
you
about
anything.
which one's Blizzard?
They make World of Warcraft and Overwatch.
Blizzard has done a lot of bad things.
I saw this clip of this guy where he was building like a house and what's it called?
What? Building a house?
Yeah.
What,
Architecture?
It's the game where they're building stuff.
Minecraft?
Yes.
That's not owned
I know,
by...
but I'm talking about something different now. And he goes to the bathroom and he comes back and everything's on fire.
Is it like the SpongeBob meme?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man, it had me dying.
No, Blizzard is in a very rough shape and well deserved.
I don't know if they'll survive this.
I kind of hope not. There's
Blizzard,
so many allegations.
I'm sure they will, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to get fired.
I hope so.
If not already.
Hey, do you guys not have phones?
I have a phone.
Do you guys just not have phones?
I have a phone, but I sure don't play Diablo Immortal on there.
Yeah, no one does.
I don't play mobile games in general. I just spend my time watching
That game
YouTube.
made didn't that game make like $100 million in like a week?
I have no idea. I don't like mobile games. I do not support mobile games. So
well, there are some that are good.
Very
you just gotta
few
find them.
are worth your time playing. Very few.
I think most of it's like pool and poker and
Those are the good ones. Funny enough.
Some of them are like just simple games that everyone's played forever.
Maybe that golf
Solitaire.
game. Yeah. And Fallout Shelter was pretty good. Fallout Shelter, you got a lot of content out of a mobile game like that.
I just like the brain games.
Yeah.
The simple, who cares?
Yeah.
Just
You're
puzzle
sitting,
games.
Killing time.
You're sitting at the airport.
Or in the tree stand.
You want to play some pool? You want to play some...
Hey, yo, Monopoly works pretty good on there, though.
Yeah.
I like Monopoly.
But all that stuff about, like, Tank, the World of Tanks and stuff, I don't like mobile games. There are a few good ones, and I will mention the good ones as they pop up. There are a few good games out there on mobile.
Well, the problem is they try and nickel and dime you so hard.
A lot of them do.
And it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got your phone. I want you to search up Henry Cavill MCU because there's a big rumor right now, and I want to see if it's changed before we go off air here.
A big rumor?
Big rumor with Henry Cavill in the MCU. The Witcher himself, Superman.
And
see it?
Loki too, as a Superman-like character.
Does it say he's
Hyperion?
Is it confirmed? Henry Cavill is this close? It's almost confirmed he's joining the MCU.
Reportedly in early talks for making his debut in the MCU as a Hyperion, I guess.
What is that?
It's part of the X-Men.
He's supposedly some Superman-esque character.
So we might get Henry Cavill in the MCU.
Man, I really wanted him to be.
Well, they fired him on his birthday.
I know.
He doesn't want to deal with that DC.
I know,
crap.
but he was so perfect as
Geralt.
Superman, you know.
Look, man, he needs to be free for 007.
I know, but man, I would have loved to get one more Man of Steel. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so some people are saying he's supposed to be Reed Richards. If you don't know that, that's Mr. Fantastic for the Fantastic Four.
Oh man, I hope it's not him.
Can you imagine Henry Cavill being a stretchy man?
I honestly think we're just in rumors right now. But I heard the first character.
And it turns out it was all a lie. Man of Steel 2 has been announced, or they just canceled everything in general.
I had an idea for myself as an MCU villain. Or a DC, or no, not a DC, in Marvel. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to love this. So my name would be called Mercy. And I would have this thing where when I'm taking people out, it would be almost like a Harvey Dent ripoff, where I would do something to decide whether I'm going to show mercy or not.
Yeah.
And then when I kill the guy, it's going to be like, no mercy. Or, it's going to be like, oh, looks like your lucky day.
Mercy.
And you can't...
it sounds like Elvis.
You can't tell me that that's any less dumb than the stuff they've been doing.
You should do the thing.
I'm gonna call Kevin Feige tomorrow.
You know where you have the piece of paper and you do like 1, 2, 3.
Oh my
4.
goodness. That's kind of. I mean, Thor: Love and Thunder. That would have worked.
Yeah.
The most kiddish movie I've ever seen. Let's see if you live or die.
Yeah.
And you're doing that. And you pull the thing up. Looks like, hey, and you tell him
He's
pick
like,
one,
give me
and
a-
he's shaking.
Give me a color.
Hey,
Green.
you're like, say 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you have to live for?
That was stupid.
5, 6, 7, 8. You're the kind of people I hate.
Jeez.
Oh. Well, that's it. And then after all that fun, I just ended.
Just put a knife in
Looks
his
like
neck.
That's
you
far
live.
enough. Hey, that's far enough, Mercy. I'm only just getting started.
Shut up, Bill.
Shut up, Bill. So, what is Mercy's real name?
I don't know.
Are we talking about your character?
Yeah, we're developing a Marvel villain right now. I got like the main villain part of it. What's his real name?
Matthew
Mercy.
Machudo.
Matthew McConaughey.
I said Matthew
Mercy.
Machudo.
I know what you said.
McConaughey. All right.
I was thinking
Looks
like,
like
I
it's
have
time to
no
die.
idea. I
I was
can't think
thinking
of
like-
it.
I was thinking
No,
like the
Donovan
names of
Cage.
no, I mean the names that start with the M, and all I got was like Mildred, Mildred Mahogany or something.
Mahogany.
Mildred Mal.
Just go
Mallard.
just
Oh,
go standard.
gosh.
Go Maxon.
What an end to this.
His name is
podcast.
Max.
If I see Mercy as a character show up anywhere, you're looking at a lawsuit. All rights reserved to me.
Where is he from? Is he from Indiana?
Oh God, no. I
Why
was
not
thinking he was
Indiana?
like a smart aleck. He's like from Cambridge or something.
Oh, he's from Cambridge. He's a
Yeah.
learned fella.
He went to Harvard and he's kind of a smart aleck, smug, you know.
Oh,
What does he
God.
do?
And then like, it'll
Did
be like
he have a
some,
normal life?
yeah,
like, what
and he was
happened?
real smart, and then something like a stock market crash or something put him to live in
Does
a
he
crappy
have super?
apartment. He's like,
Does he have
he's like,
super?
I went to Harvard.
Does he have superpowers?
I don't know.
You're telling me he's a MCU villain? He's just a maniac with a gun?
Well, isn't that Harvey Dent?
Well, yeah, but that's DC. That's a little different.
Yeah, no, we're Marvel here.
It works a little different over there.
I
How in
was
the world
kind of
does it
thinking
work
of like a
different?
tone. Well, they ruined it with the Tony Stark thing. I was gonna think he'd put on like the horn rimmed glasses, and then that would like give him his power, and he could do math like really fast.
You can do math real quick.
Man, you've been thinking about this a lot.
But like doing the math fast is basically like predicting the future through like Doctor Strange does.
Yeah, he's just hyper calculations.
Through
Like, there's a percent
He's
chance
basi-
you
so
will
he's
live,
basically like a-
Superman.
He's basically like a cyborg, like probability and stuff.
I've
yeah,
got.
but he's just a really smart guy, and the glasses kind of.
So he's like, I
Just
got
the glasses.
a so and so percent chance of beating you.
What does he?
Yeah, his
Spider-Man.
superpower is math, like probability, so he can predict the future.
Math.
He can predict
What's your
the future.
What's your superpower? I get angry and I smash things. What's your superpower? I do math.
I mean, did you not see what they did to the Hulk? I mean, this is not ridiculous take here.
I mean, yeah. I
What
know.
they do to the Hulk?
They shot him full of gamma.
They made him a man, a normal man.
What, anger issues?
I mean, he was eating at the diner in Infinity War and
No, you're
or in
talking about that.
Endgame.
Yeah.
He was eating
Signed
waffles.
autographs.
He was eating eggs and waffles as the Hulk. So I can be some super
I don't
genius from
like-
Harvard.
What's
I
his
don't
super
like
suit?
that Hulk.
What does he wear?
I was thinking it was gonna be like green,
Is it gonna be a one piece, like a spandex?
green and yellow, kind of like the original Aquaman, but a little like tighter fitting.
What do you mean tighter?
That
fitting?
Kinda
was
look-
pretty tight.
it's kinda
Pretty
look-
tight on it.
Kind of looked a little bit like Robin's old costume, but like more green and yellow,
Huh.
and then tight fitting like.
Like Mira from Aquaman. Is her name Mira?
I was thinking more like Black Adam, where
Like,
it makes you look a little musclier than you are.
So Shazam.
Yeah.
Shazam 1, not the Fury of the Gods.
Shazam! Hey, when's Shazam 2 coming out?
I don't
2023?
know. I don't like the suit.
Zachary
Is it just
Levi.
me?
He's good.
He doesn't look buff like he did.
He's a good man.
I know, but he just doesn't look as buff.
Oh my.
He's a
It's about what's in here.
He's a superhero.
He was a child.
Well, yeah, but not
He's a
not
child.
Shazam. Shazam was a full-grown man with a kid in mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a kid. You know, he was charging phones and breaking them.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
He
you
also
remember that?
shocked a Coke machine and got a free Coke.
The first thing he thought of was go to the liquor store.
I would like your
Hey,
finest
Shazam was
alcohol,
really good.
please.
It was one of those movies that like even you couldn't have hated.
Josh, it's a great
It's
movie.
very good.
And Mark Strong.
I went into that thing just like whatever, and I really enjoyed it. I thought there ain't no who's Zachary Levi, that the Bear Like Chuck guy, the Chuck guy, and then I was like, there's no way, and it was really good. I was like, oh okay.
Yeah.
I don't feel.
It's the best MCU movie or DCEU movie besides Man of Steel.
Ooh man, you're in tough territory here.
I mean, what does it got to compete with? Aquaman, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman.
Those two were pretty good.
Well, here's the thing: Wonder Woman was a great movie until the last act, until Ares, literally Ares.
David Thewlis.
That battle was terrible.
Have you seen Harry
It
Potter?
wasn't very good.
The battle
He was a
awful.
werewolf in Harry Potter.
It doesn't matter.
It matters to me.
He wasn't Ares. He was a.
He was a god
He
of
was a-
war, and he was a professor at Hogwarts that was a skin change.
He was a punk.
He was injured. He was hurt. Remember?
You talking about the wolf? Or
Both of them.
Ares?
Ares was injured. That's why he had a hard time with Diana.
Well,
He was
no,
hurt,
I'm talking about
man.
the battle was just terrible. It was like
It was two gods.
it was
on
episode
Earth.
it was episode 3 of Game of Thrones season 8.
I don't know what's going on.
It
It
was
just looked-
Clash of the Titans.
Well, that was a good movie.
I know, Liam Neeson.
I've never seen that.
Oh goodness.
Wrath of the Titans
We're
and
old
Clash of
gods.
the Titans were pretty good.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Oh goodness. Well, I think it's time for us all to go to bed.
That was the weirdest ending to a podcast I've ever seen.
We basically just talked about Harry Potter and the DC universe.
And your character, Mercy.
What is so wrong?
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it.
If you
It was
literally
just-
strip
no,
down these characters
no,
you've
listen,
seen, it ain't.
It's just random. Like
Yeah,
when you
it's-
brought it
you
up
just
in
started-
weekly news of all things, not a superhero podcast.
I'm not supposed. This is where I bring up my ideas.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It was just random.
Some of the characters you've literally seen in the MCU. I
I'm
mean,
not saying it's bad, or I'm just saying it was random. It was a random
I'm not-
time to bring it up.
I'm going to agree with Josh on that because for the first minute you were talking about it, I was so confused that I just kind of zoned out.
What were we talking about? We were talking
Nothing.
about Superman like becoming.
Henry Cavill in the MCU,
Yeah.
and then I said, "Listen to my MCU character." Look, man, somebody's gonna have Mercy on there, and we'll miss out on all that money.
Y'all should write for it.
All right, I'm
And
gonna
I'll
call
star
him.
as it.
You're gonna star as Mercy.
I'll be Mercy and y'all write for it. I
Oh,
look like a
that's
nerd.
That's gonna end your Batman Beyond hopes.
No, it'll jumpstart it.
You know what, man?
I'll jump ship like Henry Cavill did.
Yeah,
Just-
after a
I'll just go
long
to
freaking
the DC.
contract.
Batman 2 is canceled. And if they cancel The Flash, we're not gonna get to see Michael Keaton as Batman again.
Yeah, we will. When they cast me as Batman Beyond.
In real, you know how much I wanted to see Michael Keaton as Batman again?
Were you gonna watch Bat? What was it?
I was
the name
gonna
of that
watch
movie?
it to see.
The Flash?
Was it Batgirl or Batwoman?
They were doing a Batgirl movie.
But
Okay.
Michael Keaton was gonna be in it as Batman.
I know.
When
Did
both,
you want to watch it?
I wanted to see. You know how bad I wanted to see him as Batman.
they were
You should know that.
they're updating his suit. They updated his suit.
I really wanted to see that. Okay, like,
It's the same suit, just updated. And I was
Whoa.
excited to see.
Are they gonna release the clips or anything?
They're probably gonna
it's
can it
been
all.
Canned. Then
Well, they still got the footage.
it's in the.
Release it on YouTube.
It's
Make a
vacuum
couple
packed in a can of tuna.
They locked it in the vault alongside the.
All they gotta do is release it on YouTube for
Josh,
a couple bucks.
Josh,
Advertise.
It's locked in the vault with the Splinter Cell movie.
If you make a bad Batgirl movie, you end up vacuum packed.
In a can of tuna.
All right, I'm done. I want to go home. Are you
All
ready
right,
to go home?
plugs.
You know what?
Wait,
It's all yours.
before y'all leave, I know y'all been skipping
Hold
the
the mic.
plugs. And I just playing. All right, we're gonna go.
He's
through-
not playing. It's in the analytics.
I'm not playing, but I am playing.
It's in the analytics.
All right.
People
I'm gonna go
lose
through-
interest when you talk. Just
All
mine.
right, I'm gonna go through it real quick. Follow us on TikTok, on Dumb Dominos podcast,
guess.
and on Spotify.
I don't know. I guess that's
SoundCloud. Any more? Spotify, and
Anchor.
follow us on Dumb Dominos YouTube. We got a Dumb Dominos gaming channel, and we do a little bit of everything on there, and that's about it. Tune in next week for
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon
Cheers.
episode 2 on the podcast, and that's about it. Chase, I'm going to hand this back to you. See how good I did on the plugs
Yeah,
this
you did
time?
fantastic.
I didn't waste people's time this time.
I know
What's
you
that
did.
supposed to mean?
Oh, goodness.
Like I usually do.
Oh.
Well, you know what? We appreciate that. All
Round
right,
of
guys.
applause
That's
for
weekly
me.
news number 4. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.